What's up, guys? I'm coming to you again with another vlog. I'm taking a slight departure again from my debt and financial literacy teaching and giving you a real live update of my personal investing journey and what's going on in terms of my current investments. My last vlog, I shared with you what was going on with regard to my stocks and shares portfolio. I also invest in property, as I've mentioned in my last vlog and in a few of my videos. I want to really tell you what's been happening in terms of the housing market and how I've personally found it. So as I've said before, I am a landlord. I have a couple of houses up north. I just wanted to go through them one by one. So both of the ones that I own are single let, buy to let investments. So I have one tenant living in there. I actually got a call 2 weeks ago from my managing agent to say that one of the tenants in one of my flats is moving out because of the whole COVID situation. He'd lived there for a year, but I guess due to pressures in terms of his work environment, he's moved out. So I am going to be tenantless as of next month. So if you're looking for a flat, holler at me. It's in Sheffield, so if you want to live in Sheffield, or if you live in Sheffield, perfect. But yeah, that tenant has gone. So we are actually right now in the process of looking for a replacement tenant, and the hope is that between now and when they move out formally mid next month, there hopefully will be a tenant ready to go in there. So what we're doing now is that we're opening up the flat for viewings, and hopefully the timing should work out so that I have a tenant ready to move in once that tenant who's in there right now goes. I have another flat in another city up north. That's all good. I've had no issues on that one with regard to my tenant having any issues with paying his rent or wanting to set up any arrangements. That's all good, so I'm thankful for that. Now, the really interesting one that I wanted to share with you guys is with regard to another property that I'm currently in the process of buying. So it's been a very up and down, should I say, experience with the mortgage lenders, right? So whenever you're buying a flat, you view it, you make a decision on whether you want to buy it or not, and then you go and talk to a solicitor, and you go and talk to either a broker or a mortgage lender. So my broker found me a lender, and the lender said, yep, this sounds like a good one. So we'll give you a decision in principle, and a decision in principle is essentially the lender saying, okay, you earn X, this property is worth X, and we think it could get Y in terms of rent. So on that basis, we feel like we can give you a decision in principle. It's not a committed decision, but an indication that they're willing to lend to you. So I was like, good. Last 2 times I've been through that process, no issues. However, we're going through COVID right now, right? So I get a call from the broker last week to say, hey, look, the lender's not going to lend on this. And I'm like, why? And the lender's given quite a convoluted, I'm not going to mention their name, but a convoluted reason as to why they can't lend. There's a little bit of, we don't think this property is going to be resellable. It's in a central city. It's in Liverpool. It's in the central postcode, right slap bang in the middle. I mean, there's no way you'd not be able to resell that property. They also said to me that, well, they said to the broker that they had some concerns over the construction of the property, i.e. what it's made out of. And just real quick high level explanation, the property is a conversion from offices into flats. So it's very common, concrete offices, so as safe as you can get. You know, it's not made out of timber or Play-Doh or bamboo, it's concrete. So was a bit confused by that. So long story short, the lender says on that basis we're not going to lend. Very confused. So this week comes along and I talk to the broker again, because we now have to look for a new lender. That one said no, so it's okay, fine, you don't want to lend, that's cool, well, let's look for a new one. So I'm talking to the broker this week, and find a new lender, which is good, get a decision in principle, which is good. And then he says, okay, well, this lender is going to be able to visit the property and actually value it this time. I'm like, hold on a sec, what do you mean this time they're going to be able to visit the property? Did the last lender not visit the property? And he was like, yeah, they didn't visit the property. And I'm like, what do you mean? And of course it's because of COVID, right? So for those of you who don't know, well, you will know, right? Because there's restrictions everywhere, and that includes valuers. So whenever a lender, a mortgage lender, is looking to lend on the property, they will send a valuer to it to have a look around it and make sure it's worth, or make sure it exists first of all, and make sure it's worth what the price being stated for it is. So yeah, the last lender did not visit the property. And if you remember what I just said, they gave me all sorts of explanations around, we don't think it's in a decent, we don't think it's going to be resellable, and we have concerns over what it's made out of. And I'm hearing the next week that, hey, you didn't even visit the property, so how do you know? So it's a madness, guys, really. And I thought I'd just share that with you, because to me it was funny, a bit frustrating, but you know, this is part and parcel of investing in property, guys. You have some speed bumps in the road along the way. The key is to not get discouraged. But these things happen. But I thought I'd share it because it was just so interesting that a lender would not decide to lend on a property having not even seen it. And having worked in the banking industry, I know that lenders have what you call a risk appetite, or an appetite for lending. And if you've been following the news in relation to property, what you've seen is a lot of mortgage lenders have either took certain mortgage products off of the market, or they've raised the loan to value that they're willing to lend on for they've lowered the loan to value for certain products that they're willing to lend on. So whereas before they might have given you 80% or 75% of a loan, they brought that all the way down to like 60 and 50. And it's all about risk, guys. They don't have the appetite to lend as much. And if I link this into the first lender who pulled out, I think that's exactly what it was. It was that they didn't have the appetite at that moment in time to lend on that property. If it was any other time in the year, I think it would have been absolutely fine. However, because of the times we're in, they said no. So I thought I'd share that, guys. It's a really interesting situation to be in, but we crack on. We're looking at a new lender and they're able to visit the property. So I don't envision there being any problems, but if there is, I will be sure to let you know. But that's my journey, and that's where I'm at right now with my property investing journey. So if you have any questions or want to know more, or have anything to share, let me know in the comment section below, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Cheers, bye.